I believe we are pretty familiar with the word warm-up, or have at least a rough idea of what it is and how stupid it looks when we did them back then in our high school days during the beginning of every PE class. But really, have you ever wondered why are we doing these funny looking movements? And by doing this, what does it actually do to our body? Before diving right into the topic, have you ever had times where the weather or the surrounding is too cold that you do not have the mood to exercise or work out? Have you ever felt like your body is pretty tight and cold and you know that it is not ready for any bigger movements? And have you ever had some form of discomfort during exercising? If you had any of those things that I mentioned, it is the right cue for you to hit the like and subscribe button right now. Alright, we all know that warm-ups should be done before we exercise, and we all know that warm-up is to warm the body up. I mean, if it's still not obvious enough. And that is not wrong at all. But how does it work? The whole idea of warming up is to give signals to our body and prepare our body for increased physical movement intensity. It is as simple as me telling you right now that I will be raising my voice in the next 2 seconds. Like that! As compared to me raising my voice out of nowhere. In the first scenario, I prepared you for that and you are more likely to accept it than reacting to it. And that is why we have been hearing from other people saying that we are more likely to get injured during exercise without any warm-up because our body were not ready for it. So what exactly is going to happen when we do appropriate warm-ups? Most of the movements that we do during warm-ups are some form of stretches, and it is not advisable to do static stretches where we hold in a stretch position for a period of time, say 30 to 60 seconds, because when we do this, our muscles get lengthened for too long and they tend to get loosened up and relaxed, and that is the opposite of getting them ready for more intense activity. So instead, we should be doing dynamic stretches during our warm-up, meaning we perform stretches that last no longer than 3 seconds, and they generally look like repetitive movements because we are allowing our muscles to lengthen and shorten, signaling them that we will be requiring such range of performance soon. After we have signaled our body with some dynamic stretches on certain muscles to reduce tightness, I would recommend that we do some muscle activation movements to further prepare our body for more synchronized movements to reduce the chances of getting injured. Most people have some form of muscle weakness that leads to lacking of synchronization in the joint movements, meaning that the muscles are not working together like they are supposed to, and that will result in poor joint movement. And the next thing we know is we have some discomfort in our joint. And trust me with that, you do not want to be lifting heavy weights and do your PRs in that condition. The most forgotten muscle group around our shoulder joints are the serratus anterior, the lower traps, and most people are having overactive internal rotation. The most forgotten muscle group around our hip and knee joints are the adductors, the hip flexors, and the glutes. It is recommended to always give attention to these muscle groups for improved joint movements. Always look, hear, and feel the joints, making sure that they are in good conditions before diving right into the workout. When we're performing these movements, there are increased movements in our joints and muscles, and that generates heat and warm up our body at the same time. Our heart rate should be increased slightly, and this will lead to increased blood circulation where they will carry nutrients and water to nourish our body. With all this together, our brain will give signals to release hormones to our body, and that's when we feel better and put ourselves into the mood of exercising. Also, in cold environments where I normally feel lazy, I will do activities such as jump ropes, cycling, or any other form of low intensity cardiovascular exercises to bring up the heart rate and body temperature. The idea is to bring up our heart rate where it is closer to the heart rate required when exercising. In normal hypertrophic gym activities, we do not require very high heart rate as compared to sports like sprinting, basketball, badminton, and so on. And that is why I generally do low intensity cardiovascular exercises to bring up my heart rate as well as to conserve energy for the rest of the workout. Since we now know that warm-up is to prepare our body for upcoming exercises, it also means that we can perform a more targeted warm-up that will actually benefit our body in a more efficient way. In the upcoming videos, I will be sharing my upper body and lower body warm-ups and why I do them to help you understand better about warm-ups. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more content like this. I am Keewoon checking out here. See you in the next one.